Ranchers, to Mindfulness with Marcia. You know, in every life, reminders arrive to our life about what's really important. And the past months, many people have been pondering, what matters most to me? What matters most to my family? And really, what are the big things? You know, I ponder and I think about throughout my life, I've received some of those reminders myself, and I'm sure you have too. Perhaps it was the news of a potentially serious health problem, either for yourself or for a loved one. The death of a loved one. And of course, now COVID-19. Yep, we're all in it together. And in some way or another, and for some more than others, it has affected our lives. So when you get these life reminders, if I can call them that, well, you naturally reflect on your life, both your past and also what's to come. It's a human reaction to life issues. And you tend to consider what you care about the most. You appreciate the things that you've honored thus far in your life, and you see where you may want to center yourself in a different place, or what's perhaps centering what's really now coming to your mind's eye, what's truly important to you. So while it's good advice, and I've shared this with others, you know, not to sweat the small stuff, in mindful living, we also need to nurture the big stuff. So I want to just offer a few questions to you right now. In your current life, in this life, what do you really care about? And if you look back, think back, whether you've had many, many years like myself, or not so many years, what has mattered to you? And of course, looking ahead, what do you want to keep on that front burner? You see, these questions can help you decipher and have those potentially big things begin to bubble up. So today I'm going to offer some big things that I've been thinking about lately, and see what fits for you. You might say, Marsh, those aren't on my list at all, and that's okay. Take them off. Add your own. This is just a place to get started thinking about it. So here we go. I think a big thing is me. And if I was speaking to you, I'd say it's you. It's me. The reality that a crazy, unpredictable virus, small little virus, can make me potentially die, or at least be very, very sick if I'm infected. Well, yeah, I've thought about me and the virus. My sweet, soft, vulnerable side, upon which a small, warm hug, and yet the sharp darts of life all fall and land. My own well-being, yep, I've pondered on what the poet Mary Oliver called your one wild and precious life. Yes, you and I'm a big thing. Love. Love in all of its many forms, from compassion and gratitude and small acts of kindness to passionate romance and profound cherishing. Here lies the many people who matter to me. These people are a big thing. My senses, with all of my body and mind, whatever is precious in the moment, I think about the smell of my dog's breath as they do their best every morning to wake me up the second my alarm goes off. The sighting of strong and yet graceful pair of geese flying and maneuvering down the river in my backyard. Oh, last week, the taste of truly amazing ripe strawberries, the hug of a friend. And right now, oh boy, it's the sound of the wind against the window right here outside. These are the things that make me feel and be alive. They are truly, truly big things. With my thought of mindful living, these next things might sound a little bit more woo-hoo or woo-woo or spiritual or way out there, but they're things that have become big things in my life as I have traveled down this journey of mindful living. And the first one is being, making time for just hanging out with no agenda rather than always doing and being a doer. The addiction of our modern kind of Western lifestyle, although it's spreading around the world more and more, and a type A personality of myself. I was a doer. I didn't even know how to be. And now being and just being is a big thing for me. Let it go. Letting go for me means exhaling, relaxing, changing my mind, moving on, being kind to myself, and disengaging from upsets, but also standing up for the things that matter. Yep. For me, letting go has become a mindful big thing. Practicing my intentions. Now, whether that is helping me focus on my mindful living routine or remembering the importance of my prayer life and meditation life, it's living with an awareness that mindful living is about, and this is where my horticulture background comes in, I think. It's about pulling weeds, pulling the weeds while I'm still planting the flowers in that garden of my mind, in a regular garden out in my yard. No matter what I do, whether I put down that weed barrier or I use organic spray or I manually, which is usually what I'm doing, is constantly every day pulling weeds. They're always coming back, and they always come back up here too. And I have to make sure that I'm maintaining and cultivating and practicing while I'm also planting and nourishing my flowers in that garden of my mind, which oftentimes in my life are these tasks and strategies and daily intentions that I want to do in order to have the mindful living awareness. And finally, this might sound funny, but for me, it's remembering to remember my big things. So easy to get stuck in all of the crazy reactionary little things and minutia of life, and then realize that you didn't do one big thing at all today that really matters. And not just remembering the big things, my friends, but to act upon them. It's one thing to sit down and say, yeah, I've really learned that my family's important during this COVID thing. But we all want, and we're all talking now about reentry, right? How do we re-enter into our new normal? What does the new normal look like? Oh, my friends, I just pray that we don't, you and I, don't come back into our new normal and forget about these big things that might have bubbled to the surface, because they really are important during this COVID time. And for me, I have to say I want to act upon these big things before it's too late. So quite simply, your pause this week, reflect upon your big things. Remember to remember your big things. And remember to stay safe and to be well. Until next time.